This is Interviews with Ernie Manouse. I am so thrilled. You know the song, I've Never Been to Me, and you know the name of the artist, Charlene, who sang it and had the international hit with it. But how much do you really know her and her story? As fascinating as the song is, her story is even more fascinating. And we are thrilled to have Charlene with us. Hello there.
Hello. I love it. I love being here in Texas with you guys.
Well, and that's great. I could joke about, I've never been to me. Where have you been? But one thing we know, you have been to Texas now. This is
I've been to
home.
Texas now, and I've been to me. Finally, finally been to me.
Do you, and we'll go back into the whole story, but I'm curious, do you ever get tired of that song?
Never,
Really?
never. I love that song. I had such a relationship with that song when I first heard it because I used to be at the Motown offices where
Hmm.
all the big celebrities, all the big, like the Four Tops and Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, all these people would come and congregate in the office before things got really huge.
Yeah.
Michael just got signed, so he wasn't the icon that he turned out to be. But being being in that whole setting with those people and that song, it just I was doing demos for everybody. I did One Day in Your Life for Michael. That was going to be my song, but
Uh-huh.
then he got it. I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And then the Four Tops, and then the Temptations producer wrote a song called "At the Airport," and I don't remember it, but it was so incredible.
Hmm.
And then I worked with Bob Gaudio with the Four Seasons, and he did a song of me called "Shake a Hand," and that ended up on one of my albums, which was really fun. It
Yeah.
was a fun song.
I'm going to take you into the Motown years in a bit, just to help people understand. When I've Never Been to Me was at the peak of its life. How big a song are we talking here?
Oh, it was massive. It was
Yeah.
on the radio all the time. It was like if they played it all the time. They played it all, and I was like, because see, I was in England when it hit, and I was so far away from what was going on in America. I was like, I was there. I just got married, and I had loved the song 7 years before because that's when I recorded it. People go, "What?"
Yeah.
They go, "Really?" Yeah, yeah. I did it a
I
long time
heard
ago.
some number of the number of actual singles you were selling a day at like 66,000.
Yes, yes, that's it. That's it.
That's
It was
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Well, the thing is, the song was so big and I was so oblivious in England. Like, nah, I didn't know what was going on. My mom called me and said, "Charlene, somebody from Motown's calling you." And I said, "But I've been away from that label for a long time." And she said, they want to talk to you. And I said, "Okay, what if they want money? Or what if they're gonna give me money?" Anyway, no, I didn't even think that. I was like, "What do they want?" So I said, "Okay, have them call me." And so about a week later, I got the call from Jay Lasker,
Hmm.
who was the president of Motown at the time. Berry Gordy was the chairman of the board. Jay Lasker was the president. Okay. So I ran downstairs, got the phone. "Hello." He goes, "Charlene, this is Jay Lasker at Motown." I said, "Hi." I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "You're in London." I said, "Yeah, I just got married and it's really cool and it's beautiful here." And he goes, "Well, honey, you know what? You're on the charts." I'm in the hootie, wootie, hootie. The what? I'm going, I was like, I thought he was joking. I said, this got to be a joke, right? This is not very nice. You can't do that to an artist, somebody who loved the song so much and it bombed."
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And I said, okay. He goes, you're number 30 with a double bullet. We had Cashbox, Billboard, the
Yeah.
100, Billboard, Cashbox, and a couple other magazines that really follow the charts heavily. And it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it.
And I'm going to help you tell the story of how this all came to be, but I want to go back to the very beginning now. Who were you as a child?
Oh God, I was really kind of, well, I when I was a baby, I was in a coma for a month. I had spinal meningitis, and they were telling my parents, get ready to bury her. She's not going to live through this. It was so bad. I was so ill. I was in a coma for a month.
Wow.
With the things shooting, eating through, intravenous and all that kind of stuff.
What age are we
And then
talking?
18 months. I was very
Wow.
young. I
Yeah.
was very young. But then when I came out of it, I didn't know my parents. I didn't know anybody. My family was just these people to me. And I don't know how long I was in that state of not knowing anybody. My sister told me that it was quite a while. And Mom used to cry. She used to cry because she'd say, "My baby, she doesn't even know who I am anymore. She doesn't know me." And it took a while for me to do that. And after that, I started. I would put records on in my bedroom, the 45s, and I would crank a thing and turn the vocals off so I could just hear the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I was young. I was so young. I was about 10 years old. And so I would do that. So I loved music right out of the gate. I loved music all the time. So I would turn the vocals off and hear the music and just hear all the instruments, and it was just fantastic. And I remember going to the merry-go-round and seeing the drum hitting the thing.
Uh-huh.
Dun, dun, dun. I was captivated by this drum. That was so cool. And I ended up by playing the drums when I got older.
Yeah. Well, tell me, you're attracted to the music. When do you realize you have the voice you have?
Okay, I got married very young, 16 years old, and my ex-husband was a musician, and we used to go to little parties, and he used to play. I'd sing Joni Mitchell stuff. My voice was very high and lilting voice, and people would go, "God, you're really good." I'm like, "Really? No, I'm not. I don't sing. I'm just goofing around." So, we a lady approached me and said, "Charlene, I really love your voice, and I'm dating Berry Gordy, and I'm Sam. Oh, what's his name? Sammy Davis Jr.'s right hand person." And she says, "Can you send me a copy of that song that you guys did?" And I said, "Yeah, we were in like a little rinky dink studio where I did that song." And I said, "Okay, I'll send it to you." And so I mailed it off to her, a cassette, and I got a call from her, and she said, "Charlene, do you know who Berry Gordy is?" And I said, "Does he know? Does he know Diana Ross?"
Oh,
Because I
he
love
knows her.
he knows that because I loved her. Her song, "Whenever the love light starts shining through his eyes." Da, 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 da. I was right there. I loved it. So I wondered if he knew Diana Ross. And she goes, "He wants to meet you, Charlene." And at the time, he was doing a movie with Diana called Lady Sings the Blues,
Right.
which, oh God, what a movie. So I was like, okay. And I was a farm girl. I lived on a farm. I had horses. I had boots with probably horse poop in the heel. And I was just down home country girl. And so I said, "Okay." She says, "But tell Larry he can stay home, but we want you to come because he wants to meet you." I'm like, "Oh, uh-oh."
So Larry being your
This is
husband.
Yes, that's not gonna go well.
No.
You know. So anyway, so I showed up at the commissary, Warner Brothers, because that's where they were filming Lady Sings the Blues. And they were all sitting around a big table, Diana, Berry Gordy, Barry Dillard, who was a big person at Warner Brothers. And I'm walking in, this girl with the overalls and and cowboy boots. And I'm like, if these people all dress beautifully, and I walk in like a little farm girl, but that's what I was.
But no disrespect, but you don't seem like the kind of artist Motown was looking for.
You've
Yeah.
got that right.
So,
You've got that
what do
right.
you think there was in the quality of your voice, in your sound, or maybe even in your expression that made you stand out to someone like Berry Gordy?
Well, Barry Gordy really liked me a lot. I had heard that he liked Charlene. He
Ah.
used to take me in his Rolls Royce with the top down, and I would play because I played guitar too. I'd play guitar in the front seat, and he'd be driving. And we'd drive through Sunset Boulevard, and people were looking at this beautiful Corniche Rolls Royce, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" So he liked me for that, but my voice was very, very soft and very young and
Hmm.
very high voice. Like right now, my voice is deeper, but it was very high voice, and I used to do all the Joni Mitchell songs, and that was I think that's what really attracted him to me. And he would hold these parties with all the people, Sidney Poitier, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, the Four Tops, and I would sit on the floor,
Hmm.
and they would all be sitting around me, and I'd be doing yesterday. A child came out to wonder, do the Joni Mitchell stuff, and they loved it. Barry loved it.
What's going on in your head in a moment like that, where you're this young, self proclaimed country girl and you're surrounded by these recording titans?
These unbelievable people.
Yeah.
They were like Rolls Royces. And I remember we went out in the driveway, and Barry goes, "My daughter, Hazel, is getting her 16th birthday present. Let's all go outside." And we all go outside. Up drives this brown Corniche Rolls Royce. Her birthday present.
Wow.
I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy."
But in the moment, do you realize how bizarre a situation you have found yourself in?
No, no, no. See, I always say that Charlene was 20 years old, but she was really about 12. I was very young. I was
Yeah.
very young. I was very naive. All I knew was my horses, and all I knew, but I as I was starting to sing more, I was getting to enjoy it more. And then I was called into a studio, a little studio. The speaker was the size of this room. Okay. And I go in, and the guy goes, "Oh, we got a writer here. He wrote a song called uh From Your Lips to God's Ears." Oh God, this song was beautiful. It was so pretty. So anyway, so I said, "Oh God, it's beautiful." And he goes, "I want you to sing it." I said, "You want me to sing that? Are you serious? I can't sing that. I sing Yesterday, the child. I sing Johnny Mitchell. I don't sing that, you know."
Yeah.
And so I went into the studio, and they put the thing on, and it was so pretty. And I'm singing along. I have learned the song at that point. I've learned it. And I'm in there, and I'm singing it, and I'm going, and I had the cans on, and I'm like, "Wow, this sounds really good." And they stopped the thing, and they're all looking at me like this. And I'm like, "What did I do? They're going to kick me out. They're going to tell me I'm horrible and get out of here." And they go, "Come in." So I walk in from the place where I'm recording into the room with all the glass and all the things, the buttons and tape this long, this wide. It's like a foot wide. And they go, "Just sit back." And they put me in the producer's seat. And I'm like, I'm not really catching on.
Yeah.
I'm not catching on to this. I'm just I'm not quite sure where this is going. And he pushes a button, and I listen, and I'm like, I almost started crying. I'm hearing this. I'm like, they're looking to, "What do you think?" I said, "Is that me?" He goes, "That's you, Charlene." I said, "Oh my God, that's beautiful."
Does working at Motown change the sound of Charlene? Or does Charlene bring who she is and just have a platform to put it on?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I bring me.
Hmm.
I bring me, and there was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of conflict. Nepotism. Nepotism family, everybody's black, which I love black people. I black boyfriends, when I was really, I was like 20, 21, 22 after I got divorced from my first husband. I didn't, I was like, wow, these people are so amazing, but it's like, where are they going to put me?
Hmm.
They were like, "Where's she going to be put?" We didn't know where to put her. They created my own label called Prodigal Records. They created a label for Charlene, and it was for all my songs. Okay.
When do you,
Then about,
just jump in, when do you go from doing demos and test recordings and actually they're saying, you're recording for you now?
yeah, oh my God. It was crazy, and I'm going to tell you the story of Never Been to Me.
I just want to remind everyone we are talking with Charlene, who was made legendary thanks to the song I've Never Been to Me. And
To
all
me.
you need to do is hum a few lines of it, and everybody knows it. But anyway, you were going to
Hey
say.
lady, you lady. So anyway, I I I heard this. Ron Miller, who wrote the lyrics, Kenny Hirsch wrote the music. He had been hearing my voice on all these songs. I was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
One day in your life, I sounded just like him. I sounded exactly because I had a very high voice. So, he came up to me. He had this really deep, deep voice, right? Beautiful, deep voice. And he goes, Charlene, I've been listening to the songs you've been recording. He goes, you know, they're not, they're not giving you the right songs. He said, I wrote a song for the Temptations called I've Never Been to Me. And it was a male version. And when I heard your voice, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with your, and I'm like, really? Oh my gosh, this guy wrote for Once in My Life, Heaven Help Us All, Catch Me in the Morning, all these great, incredible songs. And he wrote, I've Never Been to Me for me because my voice had that timbre in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, little did he know that because I was a battered wife, okay, I was a battered wife, it was not a happy life. I'm a battered wife. It was not a happy life. So I was just because remember I was 12.
Right, right.
I was 25 going on 29, but I was really 12.
Mm-hmm.
I was so young. I didn't understand a lot of things.
What led to getting married at 16 though?
Pregnancy.
Oh. I guess that'll do it, huh?
That'll do it when you're that young
Right.
and you're that, oh God, unbelievable. So anyway, so he brought me in the studio. He goes, I want you to hear this song. I want you to hear this song. And he sat me down. My heart broke
Yeah.
because he played it. Hey lady, you lady, cursing your life. I was I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry. I was cursing at my life every day. I didn't even know why. Because when a woman gets beaten up and when you feel like a little girl, like you shouldn't even be here, I used to wonder, God, why didn't you take me home when I was in a coma? Why did you want me to be here? I just didn't know. But boy, when that song came on, I was I was bawling my I say I'm getting all teary eyed. I was bawling my eyes out and Ron turned the tape off. He said, I'm so sorry. He said, Are you okay? I said, yeah, I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I said, this song is my life. This song is my life. It's telling me everything about me. And so he calls Berry. He says, Berry, we're going to go in the studio and cut a quick demo on this song with Charlene. And Barry's like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. Great. Because he had been following what I was doing. He knew what I was doing. And I was doing all these recordings, but not hitting the magic. Okay. So he he we went into the Hitsville studio, which I remember I'm working in studios as big as this room, and the speakers are as big as this room. I didn't go, and we walk into the studio, and it's like it's room for a 30-piece orchestra. It's just huge, and I'm like so intimidated. I'm like, oh my God, what do I sing? He goes, you're gonna sing on Diana Ross's mic. Are you joking? I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, I can't touch. I can't go. No, that's her mic. You're gonna go into that little booth and you're gonna sing, and we're gonna be in here. We're gonna turn the thing on, and you're gonna. And so I heard it back, and it was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. So Barry said he Ron Miller played it for Barry. Barry said, I want you kids, and I'm gonna co-produce it with Ron. Berry Gordy co-produced it with Ron. Okay, he wanted to be a part of this because he knew how magical it was. So we get in the studio, and the violins are going, and we have the harp is going, and there's a percussion. Lee Ritenour. Have you heard those guys?
Mm-hmm.
All these big people now. Joe Sample. All these huge jazz artists were my ensemble. They played for me.
Yeah.
Because we're They were just getting started. And so it played it, and so the track was just magic. It was magic. And because it touched my heart so deeply, it touched me so deeply. I've never, all the songs I'd done with for Michael and One Day in Your Life and all that stuff, nothing went in.
Yeah.
This song went in. And I was, oh,
And you can help me with this. Your husband at the time, who it has not been a good relationship,
you know,
he is also a musician. I'm wondering, as you feel the success of this particular track, this song, is there also a fear, I am moving forward, he may not be, and can you live in the moment of joy for the wonderful song you have, or do you have to live with the fear of what this is going to mean for you personally?
I lived in the fear of what this meant personally, and I knew that it was going to be getting a lot of spankings and a lot of trouble and a lot of trying to sabotage me getting called into the studio, where he would try to sabotage it, hurt me so much that I'd be crying so much I couldn't even sing, yeah, it was very hard. It was very hard for me
There will be people that'll say, you're getting this success, you're surrounded by these creative people, why are you staying in this bad relationship?
because I was 12. I was 12, and he used to tell me, if you ever leave, I'll find you and I'll kill you. And when a woman hears that, a young woman who's just kind of insecure and believes everything, because he hits hard. He used to hit me really hard, you know? And I was learning to play the piano, and he used to hit my arms so bad that I couldn't even play. So he wanted to try to sabotage everything he could for me, to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do anything, so I could never go any further. And boy, he was, my friend Nancy, the girl who came up to me at that party
Mm-hmm.
and said, I'm Berry Gordy. I'm dating Berry Gordy. I'm working with Sammy Davis Jr. She goes, Charlene, Larry's hitting you, isn't he? And I'm so emotional. I go, yeah. I said, Nancy, he's hitting me. He killed two of my dogs right in front of me. That was it for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't go on anymore. I couldn't go on anymore. I said, she goes, you're coming with me. And I said, Nancy, he's gonna find me and he's gonna kill me. She goes, no, he won't, because where we're going, he's not gonna find you. You know what Barry did? You know what Berry Gordy did? He gave me and Nancy his Malibu mansion
Yeah.
in the on the beach, with a maid, a Mercedes Benz, all the food we needed. He knew I was going through a really bad time.
Yeah.
He knew I had suffered a lot, because he didn't like Larry.
Yeah.
He didn't like him. He was cocky, and he thought how great he was, and he was far from great.
When you hear the original recording of Never Been to Me, do you hear that pain in there? Do you hear that?
Yes, you know what? That was that was what made this song number one.
Yeah.
That made this song number. My heart came out, and you know what? You know what really made the song go as big as it did? Hey, you know what paradise is?
The
It's a
spoken word
lie.
part. Yep.
A fantasy we create about people and places we'd like them to be. But you know what truth is? It's that little baby you're holding, the man you fought with this morning, the same one you're going to make love with tonight. That's truth. That's love. That did it.
Yeah.
That was like, people talked about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing people don't realize, when the single is first released, if I have it correctly, they took the spoken word part out. And so the song is out there without it. And
They
so,
said it was they said it was corny.
yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that.
So it does chart, but only low 90s and then doesn't go anywhere.
That's right.
What are you thinking then? You've done this beautiful piece, you've poured your heart and soul into it, and it kind of is saying, it's nice.
Oh, that was so hard for me.
Yeah.
That was so hard for me. And part of it, me escaping and going to England. When I went to England, married Jeff, I went to England. I just tried to forget everything. But boy, I couldn't forget it. I would sit up in the bedroom in London. We lived in London. I'd sit up in the bedroom. I'd put the song on, and I would just Listen to me. I would I would cry. I would
Yeah.
just cry because I remember the emotion that went into that song, and I remember the memories and how it was established and how that song grew with me. We grew together. We
Yeah.
grew together, and it was, oh God, it was so beautiful. But yeah, but then when that talking bit, that hit
And
it.
we're going to get to how that talking bit got back in there. But what I want to say is a lot of people will think you had the dream job. You were a singer. For me, you had the dream job in the UK. You were working in a candy shop.
That's right. That's right. That was right.
You leave all of this behind. Never Been to Me isn't a hit. You think to yourself, if I can't get it with this one, maybe I'm going up the
It's
wrong
not going to
tree.
happen.
So
Right.
you
Exactly.
meet a wonderful man. You've left the bad behind. Meet a wonderful man who you're still married to today.
Yes. 43 years.
Congratulations. You go to
Thank
the
you.
UK, you're working in a candy shop, a sweet shop,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and your mom calls. And you were alluding to this when we started the conversation. Tell me what she tells you.
Okay.
And it's
She goes,
7 years later, correct?
yeah, 7 years later. Yeah. Well, the phone rang when I was in bed. I heard the phone. I knew it was America because they got the numbers all
Time
mixed up.
change.
So I run down. Mom, I go, hi, Mom. She goes, Charlene, somebody from Motown's looking for you. And all of a sudden, the wheels start going in my head again. The emotions start going. And I'm like, Mom, what did they say? She goes, I don't know. All I know is they're looking for you, honey. They're looking for you. So anyway, the couple days go by, I get a call. Jay Lasker. Charlene, this is Jay from Motown. He goes, honey, you got to come back here. You're on the charts. I said, I'm on the what? I said, you know what, sir, this is a really bad joke. You can't do this to me. I've already been, he goes, you are on Billboard number 30 with a double bullet, Cashbox, you're on a double bullet. You're selling so many records. And I didn't even have a label yet. I wasn't even
If
anything.
I know the story correctly, there's a DJ that not just comes across the track, takes the album track, which has the spoken word part in it, and starts playing it
That's
on the radio
Oh,
randomly 7 years after it had been initially released.
right, right. His name. I'm gonna get it. I love him. I was just gonna say his name. Scott
Shannon.
Shannon. Scott
I had to look it
Shannon.
up.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
So he fell in love with this song and starts playing it, and it connects.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They did a contest. Me, Never Been to Me, which is nobody, and Olivia Newton-John's Physical, Physical. Well, everybody's going to pick that because she's a big star. That's a great song. And Scott said that the phones went nuts with I've Never Been to Me. What is this song? Who is this person? I need this song. I want to get this song. It just went crazy. And they hardly any for, they already knew Olivia,
Right.
they already knew her, but they didn't know me. And it was,
They'd never been to you.
no, they never.
I'm sure you're tired of those puns after all these
Oh, I
years.
don't care. I don't care. I love it.
So all of a sudden you have a song that's doing gangbusters. You're not even in the country. You don't have a music video, and now we're in the 80s, so we're MTV. You need a music video. What do you do?
We went to a big castle in Blickling Hall, way out in the country of England. I was wearing my wedding dress and this castle. It was beautiful, and we did the video there. We did the video in that castle, and the talking part is me walking down these stairs. Hey, and my face comes up in the clouds. Paradise, it's alive, and as we create about people. It was so
Does
beautiful.
Motown re-sign you? How does it work now? Because it's
Yes.
been a while.
Yes, I got re-signed. I got re-signed to the label, and then we tried releasing another single. They were going to release Ain't Easy Coming Down, which is one of my favorite songs. Have you heard that one?
I probably have. I was listening to a ton of
Oh,
your stuff. What people don't realize, so you had an album with the original song. You had a second album that didn't get released. But then when you have the success of the rebirth of Never Been to Me, Is that the original album, or is that a compilation of the two albums put together?
It's a compilation of the two albums put
Okay.
together. Yeah. Ron Miller and Kenny Hirsch. And I wrote a song on there called If You Take Away the Pain Until the Morning, which was a really pretty song. But yeah, so
So what's it like flying on the Concorde?
the Concord, oh my
Because
God.
they had to get you back to New York.
That got me back in 3 hours. Right there. I did a show with Maurice of the Bee Gees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was he was so sweet because Charlene, we love your song. We love your song. And I said, thank you so much. I love your song too.
So, okay, if anybody is in need of therapy at this point, I'm guessing it's you because you have this high, this low, this change. You're back. Now you're in the spotlight again. This is crazy.
Yes, it's crazy, but wait, it gets better. Oh, it gets, well, how do I say better? Really horribly better.
We are speaking with Charlene, who you know from, of course, I've Never Been to Me, and so much more. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but I want to remind folks who we're talking to.
Okay, it's okay. So anyway, so time goes by. The song is starting to wane a little bit. It's kind of going down, a little bit.
Before you wane, though, let's remind everyone this is an international bestseller now. Humongous sales. It's insane.
Massive. It's massive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm back in England now, and we're living in our pastor's house because we're going to buy a house. We're going to, we were just settling in, and I was doing so many TV shows, so many things. I was doing so much. Well, I get a call from Ron Miller,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, Charlene, I've got your second single. And I said, really? Is it Ain't Easy Coming Down? He goes, no. It's you and Stevie Wonder singing Used to Be. Okay, you know what they should have done? They should have taken Charlene and got out to the back and found a wall and put her against the wall and have about 100 guns.
No. Instead, they're going to make you record what turns out to be an extremely controversial song with another huge artist, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie, I've known Stevie. Yeah, me and Stevie hit it off a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was so great. We were just really good, like good friends.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he tells me the lyric. Superman was killed in Dallas. There's no love left in the palace. Someone took the Beatles' lead guitar. Have another Chevys Regal. You're 12 years old and sex is legal. The parents don't know where or who you are, and this is going on and on and on.
What are
and
you
on.
thinking seeing these lyrics? I mean, you already got in a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily call it controversy, but a lot of attention because Never Been to Me back in those days, that was a rather forward song.
It was. Took the hand of a preacher man and we made love in the sun.
Mm-hmm. You've done some things that a woman ain't supposed to
It's
do.
supposed to sing. Yeah. Churches won't even allow me to sing
Yeah.
in church.
And then you get this next song.
Oh my Lord. Oh, and then, okay, the song KIQQ. Do you remember that radio station?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. They had my back. They wanted to push this. They loved me. I was doing so many shows on their radio station, and they tried to get it to go. Charlene, yeah, we're gonna play every like 30 minutes. They played it. I was in a clothing store buying, and it's on. I walked to the thing, and it's on. I was in my car, it's on all the time. Used to be. So I'm thinking, wow, this is gonna be huge. It'll be huge. So I open up a magazine.
Uh-oh.
Charlene, the magnificent failure.
Oh.
That was like a knife went into my heart.
Yeah.
Are you joking? The magnificent failure.
The song just didn't give you what you needed, huh?
It didn't. It was like, Ron Miller was a very angry man. He is angry. He was so angry. He was a gambler. He used to gamble and win so much money, and he was just angry. He had a real edge to him, and he hated the world. So he figured, okay, Charlene's gonna be my puppet. She's gonna be the one that's gonna get killed instead of me.
Yeah.
With this song. And did you hear the ending of it?
Yes.
The song?
Yes.
Yeah. Someone tried to say it. We nailed him to a cross.
Yeah.
I guess it's still the way it used to be.
Uh,
Oh my God.
It was a bit, and so I've got to think you're thinking, well, that was the shot I had it coming back.
Yeah.
Time to just relax back into my country life over in the UK. And then in Australia, they make a movie.
Yes,
Adventures
Priscilla.
of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh my
And
God.
somebody has the great idea, let's open the movie with one of the lead drag queens lip
Hugo
singing.
Weaving.
Yeah, and who turns out to be Hugo Weaving, lip syncing to I've Never
Thinking
Been to
to
Me.
me.
And you're back. The song is a phenomenon again.
I know. I was traveling over to England doing all these gay pride shows.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I had a blast. And then we did a dance version of I've Never Been to Me.
Which is great. I love that.
Did you
Yes,
like?
I
I
think I
hated
know
it.
you hate it, and I know you say in concert you would do the dance version and people would be like, and
Yeah.
then you would do the
And
ballad and they'd be like, yeah.
they're all there. Oh, they were just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was no, it was, I didn't hate it. It was just different.
Yeah.
It was different.
It wasn't the song that it had been. And
No,
I know we're
no.
skipping over a lot of things that happened in your career, but it's just kind of, to me, phenomenal that they often talk about getting famous the first time is one. I think it's Cher who says coming back the second time is so much harder.
Harder,
And I'm
yeah.
curious, does it mean more or less when Priscilla came out and started getting attention again for the song? Did you think, yes, again, or are you kind of now tempered to it? And you're like, well, this is great. I'm just going to enjoy the fun of it.
I think, yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think I was just, it's not going to be anything. I didn't expect it to be that.
Yeah.
I loved it. They flew me to Australia to do the opening of the musical.
Because then it comes back again with the musical.
Yeah, I know. It's never gonna go away. It's never. I don't want it to ever go away. I love the song so much.
Yeah.
And I just it was it like I said, it went down into my soul.
Yeah.
It was down into my soul, and it it showed me who I was, and it showed me, what my life was, and with that song and the beauty and
Do you think if you hadn't lived the life you were living back then, that the vocals would have resonated the way they did? Could anyone have come in and sung that song and given it a feeling, or did you have to go through what you did to give us that song?
you're saying it exactly right.
Yeah.
I had to go through that stuff to sing that song because other artists sang it
Right.
and they didn't have the deep passion. People have I had so much fan mail. Oh, Charlene, I cry when I hear that song. I cry so much. I've had such a hard life and I love it so much. And thank you. Just they must have gone through stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably went through a lot of bad stuff.
You're living in Fort Worth. I assume you have neighbors, people see you, say hello. Do they know who you are?
Oh, my church.
Yeah.
My church is like always, oh, because I'm pretty I'm home. I'm a homebody. I got 6 dogs. Well, altogether 6 dogs. I've got three. I've got three, and my daughter has two. I've got 5 dogs. No, I've got four,
Four.
and she's got two.
Two. So you got the kennel,
Oh.
living in the kennel now, huh?
I've got my kennel. I love my kids.
But
They're like my little
you're
babies.
still singing, and I've heard some of the more recent material you've done, and I
Yeah.
am amazed how wonderful your voice still sounds. A lot of folks later in life, their voice kind of changes, and they may not have a range they had. You sound fabulous.
Thank you. I love you. I think my saving grace was not going on tour and singing my brains out,
Yeah.
screaming and yelling and doing all that. That hurt a lot of people. I was basically a lot of TV, a lot of radio, and I basically didn't do a lot of singing shows.
Yeah.
Well, I did, in London, I was doing, Never Been to Me and stuff, but it was very short. I did 2 or 3 songs. That was it.
So you're able
I
to
did a version of,
preserve the talents,
yeah.
the tools.
I did a version of California Dreamin'. Oh my gosh. I'm talking it.
Yeah.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. And they're going, California dreaming. On the Sky is Gray. Oh, it was so great.
Okay,
And we
give me some dirt. I want some good gossip. You were with the greats. Tell me about Diana Ross.
she didn't like me.
Really?
She named her daughter after my daughter. My daughter's name was Chadney, and she named her daughter Chudney.
Uh,
Like that stuff you put on Indian curry.
she didn't
She did
like you?
because she knew Barry liked
Yeah, and
me.
we know the history of those two. There's a lot there.
Yes, 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 yes,
Tell me what
yes.
Michael Jackson was like when he was young.
He was so quiet. He was so quiet. And the last time I saw him was at the Motown 20. Motown 20?
Motown 30?
Motown 25. Motown 25. That was it. Because I was gonna sing on that, but I had strep throat. So I couldn't. I'm in the background right next to Michael, Marvin Gaye. They're all singing and I'm doing the thing, but I was so ill. I was
Yeah.
so ill. So but Michael was, and he said to me, Michael said, Charlene, I love your voice. I love your voice, Charlene. I want to write you an album. I said, Oh, Michael, that'd be so awesome. I'd love that. I would love that. Let's do it. And then we kind of lost touch. We lost touch.
Yeah. Did you see how he changed over the years? His success and fame and all that touched him?
Poor thing. I felt so sorry for him. He was being so abused by people, and I saw Tito about 10 years ago in Whole Foods in California. The Whole Foods. And I said, Tito. And he went, Charlene. I said, I said, I'm so sorry about Michael. He goes, Oh no. He goes, I know. It's really sad. We're really sad about all that. And I didn't go, Is it true? I didn't want to do anything like that. I knew he was fine. I knew he was a good guy. He was a little boy. He was a little boy.
So many of these folks have gone on to such superstardom, and I'm curious when you think about them, do you see them as the celebrity, the star they became, the Diana Rosses, the Michael Jackson, the Stevie Wonders, or do you still see them as the people you knew and the relationships you had?
Well, Stevie, I'll always see as the relationship he and I had
Yeah.
off the stage, in Berry Gordy. I used to go to Berry Gordy's mansion all the time and hang out and spend the night at his house and just hang out. It was fun and go swimming and going, it's just great. But um, Stevie was pretty much all the because he was blind and he couldn't get in that thing with people. But Diana Ross just got worse. She was so mean. She was always drunk. She was always wasted out of her brains on vodka.
Yeah.
She would drink so much vodka. I don't drink. I don't drink, and I would just like
Which
she
is
was.
another reason why your voice probably holds up so beautifully,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm real boring.
Yeah. Well, no, if anyone picks up your autobiography, they're going to know you're not boring.
I'm not boring. I know.
Before we
Oh,
run out of time, I do want to go back to something we were talking about earlier, and you have a unique platform where you can talk to people in having gone through what you went through. And I'm sure there are people listening right now who are in very difficult, maybe even dangerous
oh
relationships.
my gosh,
And I'm
yes.
curious, what can you tell them? What kind of advice can you give having lived through what you went through?
Oh God, I don't know. Um, I would just say, you know what? Hang on to your roots and hang on to somebody who makes sense in your life.
Hmm.
Nancy she was an angel to me. She saved my life.
Yeah.
She did. If she wouldn't have taken me out, Larry probably would have killed me because he used to say that, he was just so mean. He killed my dogs.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm such a dog lover. People, why do you have so many dogs? I can't go into it. Just
There's a
trust
lot
me.
there. Yeah.
There's a lot there. Yeah. So I would say, be around people who support you and love you, and go with your heart. Learn your heart. You go what is truth. And if you're in something really bad, you've got to be strong. and you've got to be strong and walk away, and know that, Larry never came after me with a gun, but he did find me in the mansion, on Berry Gordy's mansion
Mm-hmm.
in Malibu. I came out to the thing, and Nancy went, Charlene, don't go out there. I went, why? Larry's out there. He saw her, and he went like that with pretending he had a gun.
Ugh.
Oh my God, he found me? And this is a long time.
Well, from all the pain you went through, though, you brought us such joy and such beauty in your
Thank
music,
you.
and a song that is in the soundtrack of so many people's lives. It's ridiculous. Any new album coming? New song coming? What are you working on now?
Well, I'm writing a song now. It's got it's called Hello Nobody.
Oh,
Hello Nobody. And it's somebody reflecting back at themselves. It's really negative. Did you hear the song I Was You?
no, I haven't heard I Was You.
Oh my God.
Where can we find your music? Where is it? If people want to
That
find it.
song, Motown has it like this. They have it in their clutches. And they won't let it out. I should send it to. Do you have it? Where can I send it?
I'll,
I'm going
I'll,
to send you a copy of it.
I will tell you as soon as we're off air.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I'm going to send it. I'm going to send. You're going to go, oh my God, this song is beautiful. No. Hello Nobody is about a reflection of somebody who's been through a lot of stuff, and they're I don't know what they're doing because I haven't finished writing it yet.
Well, I think they're going to end very happy having done an interview with me, and I got to
Yeah.
tell them how much I enjoy and love them. Charlene, thank you so much for doing this.
It was so great talking to you.
Such a
Bless
joy.
you.
Charlene.